Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso, breaking overnight, a rollover sends 2 women to the hospital while shutting down I-10. Your latest round-the-clock coverage continues.
Anderson Jefferson High will take the field today, but without some key players. This after some were suspended for a brawl that sent 1 to the hospital.
We should not wait for more children to sicken or die before we act.
After babies were diagnosed with measles at a daycare center, the push to get kids vaccinated intensifies.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Rise and shine. Good morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, 2 people are in the hospital right now due to a very serious rollover.
Around-the-clock coverage continues right now. I-10 East and West are both blocked by the Tornillo exit.
ABC7's Luke Liddon is live with the details from the scene. Good morning, Luke.
Hillary, Stephanie, a very tragic scene here in Tornillo on I-10 West. You take a look behind me, you'll see the white SUV flipped over on its hood on the westbound lanes of I-10. What we do know at this hour is that this SUV was traveling eastbound on I-10 at around 1:30 this morning. That's when it flipped over across the highway onto the westbound lanes. 2 women were involved in this crash, and one of those women was ejected at the point of impact. We don't know what caused this crash, but we do know one of the women was med evac to a nearby hospital, and another one was taken by ambulance. Currently, both eastbound and westbound lanes are closed, but special traffic investigators are still working at this hour to clear the scene. But for now, you'll definitely want to take an alternate route if you're headed in this direction. I just got off the phone with the PIO, and she's headed currently right here to this scene to give me more information about this crash, but that is all the information we have at this point in time. But be sure to stay on air and online with us at KVIA.com for the latest information. Reporting live in Tornillo, Luke Liddon, ABC7.
All right, thank you, Luke, for that live report. And now switching gears to our storm track weather forecast.
Let's go ahead and talk to Crystal Clyde. She's standing by. It looks like a nice one so far, judging by the past few days.
Yes, absolutely. Much more positive news in the weather front. We are looking at great conditions. Cool this morning, though. Still that chill in the air. It is only February outside. Let's pop up those temperatures. 40 where we're sitting at in El Paso. You feel like temperatures at 35 degrees. That's thanks to winds. Right now it's 7 miles per hour. In Las Cruces, we're at 34 degrees. Winds are light at just 3 miles per hour. Notice a lot of the winds are coming in from the west. That's because we've got that westerly or dry airflow that's moving in. That's going to keep us clear and sunny today. And with the sunshine comes the soaring temperatures. How high will we go today? And what's the peak temperature on the 7-day forecast? Put your guesses in now. We'll look at that coming up.
All right, thanks, Crystal. Happening today, jury deliberation is set to begin in the case of Edgardo Flores. He's the man accused of killing a state trooper in 2012. Prosecutors say Flores ran a red light and hit the patrol unit trooper Javier Arana was driving. The defense argues Arana was the one who ran the red light. Arana was responding to an emergency at the time. Several witnesses in the trial have testified that it was Arana who ran the red light. We'll be there today, and we'll keep you updated on air and online.
12 varsity soccer players from the El Paso School District are suspended this morning. Another is in the hospital with serious injuries. This after a fight Tuesday night involving Andrus and Jefferson High School's teams. According to Jefferson students, the fight started after Silver Fox's star junior Edgar Perez was fouled. Perez was either punched or kicked in the face by an Andrus player, according to the students, resulting in a broken jaw that required surgery. The Andrus player responsible for Perez's injuries, we're told, has been kicked off the team.
All the kids started fighting, and the administrators couldn't handle it. The parents started to get involved, and they actually started to get in a fight with the other parents.
Coaches and adults that went onto the field where they're trying to help because it had escalated.
6 players on each team have been suspended for 2 games and will not be allowed to play in the Jeff Andrus rematch. Both teams are scheduled to play again today. A former El Pasoan behind bars this morning after police say he killed one woman and then tried to kill a police officer. 31-year-old Adrian Loya is a member of the Coast Guard. Early yesterday morning in Massachusetts, police say Loya shot 2 colleagues at an apartment, killing one. Before the shooting, he allegedly lit a car on fire on a road to block police from getting in. And when police stormed in, he opened fire on them, striking one of the officers. That police officer is in stable condition. There's no word yet on a motive, and Loya has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. He's being held without bail and has been ordered to undergo a mental health evaluation.
We are learning more about the recent death of that 10-day-old baby in Doña Ana County. The boy, who had tested positive for methamphetamine at birth, was found unresponsive Monday and later died at the hospital. We've learned the baby did not suffer any trauma. We're told by the sheriff's office once the baby tested positive for meth, the Children, Youth and Families Department was notified. CYFD closely examines the relationship between families to determine whether or not the infant is in danger. In this case, CYFD did not believe so and chose to keep the 31-year-old mother and the baby together.
The newest outbreak of measles has now hit the Chicago suburbs.
Now lawmakers, where it all started, are proposing to remove the rule that allows parents to actually opt out of getting vaccines for their kids.
ABC's Valle has the latest developing now.
The measles at another daycare. 5 babies diagnosed with the disease at this center outside Chicago. Other children possibly exposed.
Many of them are under the age necessary to receive their first vaccination.
Another 14 kids now quarantined in Santa Monica, California, after a case of the measles at their daycare. These new cases on top of the 102 confirmed cases of measles across the country this year. The rising number prompting a push to get more kids vaccinated.
We should not wait for more children to sicken or die before we act.
California lawmakers proposing to eliminate the personal beliefs exemption for parents who refuse to vaccinate their kids. It's one of 19 states that allow parents to opt out. A new study finds in most of those states, fewer than 90% of preschoolers get the measles vaccine.
It's not really up to me whether kids are vaccinated or not, whether people do with their kids, but if they're going to be around other children, they should keep them all safe.
This morning, one of the nation's largest autism advocacy groups is weighing in. Autism Speaks, saying vaccines do not cause autism. We urge that all children be fully vaccinated.
For them to say the question is over, vaccines don't cause autism, get vaccinated, that's a big step, very helpful.
Most of the measles cases in the U.S. this year are linked to that outbreak at Disneyland. Other cases are linked to international travel. Health officials don't yet know the source of the latest outbreak near Chicago. Bazi Kanani, ABC News, Washington.
And a quick traffic alert for those living in Central. Loretto Academy will be holding its annual Nun Run 5K this weekend. That means some streets around that area will be closed. So here's a map. If you usually drive on Trowbridge, you're going to have to find another route. The race starts at 8:30 and will last until 10:30.
And at 6:08, taking a look at our TxDOT traffic cameras looking on the far west side of town, I-10 and Trade Center. You can see there are a lot of headlights out there. Also I-10 and Artcraft. You can see that the traffic is pretty light. No problems to report at this point.
The East Lotta School District is looking to possibly consolidate some schools in the Lower Valley.
Parents packed last night's meeting to hear what the superintendent is proposing. We'll have those details later in the show.
And imagine winning $500,000 in a scratch-off lottery, only to find out your ticket is a misprint. What? That actually happened to a man in Roswell, and now he's suing.
And if you have yet to make plans for the weekend, why not head outside? We're in for some nice temperatures, right, Crystal?
Absolutely. I am giving it total approval for outside events because the forecast this weekend, it looks great. We're going to talk about how hot we'll be. That's right, hot, coming up after the break.
Thanks so much, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.